A meeting called by more than 70 UN members, a clear sign of mounting frustration with the inability of a divided Security Council to address the crisis in Aleppo. Canada was the driving force behind the informal session.
Well, there's a tragedy happening under our eyes in Syria and particularly these days in eastern Aleppo. And, there was this deadlock in the Security Council. It seems that there's an inability to agree on at least the ceasing of hostilities and delivery of humanitarian assistance and the stopping of the bombing. And the tragedy is so big and it's happening live in front of our eyes.
And strong criticism of the Security Council from the Secretary General.
I regret that the Security Council has failed to discharge its responsibilities to uphold the peace and security for Syria.
The rancor between Russia and the US that has been a feature in the Security Council now put on display before the General Assembly.
You may hear Russia claim credit for briefly pausing its aerial assault on eastern Aleppo, but it is not and must never become praiseworthy to refrain from committing atrocities. One cannot get credit for taking an 8 or 11-hour break in months of merciless bombing.
It's high time the US makes good on their obligation to separate the so-called moderate opposition from the terrorists. The US hasn't been able, nor their allies in the region, they haven't been able to gain control over the genie that got out of the bottle, Nusra.
The only ray of hope, the contention by the Special Envoy to Syria that progress has been made in recent talks in Lausanne. But no indication that the General Assembly could succeed where the Security Council has failed and establish a united position on how to deal with what is an ever-growing humanitarian tragedy. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, the United Nations.